And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live chat. Tonight is bake night. Some of us are baking, some of us are not. So feel free not to bake if you're not in the mood and still hang with us. Tonight we are baking peppermint meltaway cookies. I will put the link in the chat now to the recipe. It's a pretty straightforward recipe. If you hate mint, you can put some other extract or no other extract in it. And it
I was wondering how it's in the store. What other things do they extract other than vanilla?
Almond.
I went to no frills, so like I think anything other than vanilla is a frill. But
have personally used like strawberry extract, coconut extract, orange extract, mint extract, raspberry,
lemon,
cherry.
We have like a rum extract too.
I think there's like a butter one too. I have no idea what that is. I've never used it, but I feel like I've seen it.
I think I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So.
We're going to chat for just a little bit at the top here, kind of get settled in. But if you haven't pulled your butter out yet to soften, it's time for like emergency measures. Maybe start like pull it out, maybe microwave it for 15 seconds at a time. You also want to have your egg yolk out and at room temperature. So that will get to room temperature a lot faster than your butter. So I didn't send anyone a warning to do that. Also, I think the cookies are going to come out fine, even if you don't get it just right. But the butter, it's going to be tricky to mix if it's not soft. So definitely get on that. We've got Nicole here, said I have all my ingredients and I'm ready to go. Also, it might take me longer to reply tonight. The chat is open on my desktop and I'm watching in the kitchen because my laptop is not being a friend.
Kudos for still baking, despite adversity. I got stabbed by a cactus and went, no.
Instantly, like, I would have done the same.
I was not going to bake tonight because I have a series of events that led to me already having so many cookies in my house. But I was at least going to like be in my living room and like not at my desk, but then I couldn't get my camera on my laptop working. So
no.
Yeah. My series of events this week was we had a work party that I was in charge of bringing sugar cookies for decorating, and my boss specifically said, "Do not bake them yourself." And I thought, but I might. I
won't stop me.
Yeah. And then I baked like one batch and was like, I don't like my coworkers enough to make another batch. And I thought like, it's fine. I'll bring these cookies. I have a party this weekend. Bring these cookies. And then I bought some store-bought cookies to take to the work thing. Ended up bringing home about half of the store-bought cookies that I took to the work thing. And also the party got canceled. So
no.
I have a lot of cookies in my room right now. Some of them are in the freezer, so it's all fine. But I didn't feel like I needed to bake more cookies.
Yeah, probably the right call.
Probably not. I only have so much freezer space.
Yeah.
I will instead be crafting because I need to finish my little embroidery journal by the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've shown this on the chat or just like in
you have.
Yeah. So I'll be working on this tonight.
Nice.
Misty Kate is prepared to use you all as guinea pigs, and you can bake it first, and she'll do it.
Perfect. Last time we did this, I did a practice round so I could be sure it would work. This time we're winging it. Sally rarely lets me down. She's never let me down. She's let my husband down a couple times, but never me. So I'm trusting her.
Did she let your husband down, or did your husband let Sally down?
That's what I keep saying. And he insists.
He spent all of Thanksgiving Day like doubting her rolls recipe and was like, they're not going to turn out. They're not going to turn out. They turned out perfect.
And they were great. So
I believe it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're also just gonna, like, as we bake and things, hang out and chat about books we liked this year. And this is technically our last chat of 2024. So
yes,
just made it.
Baker's on top.
baby is asleep, so I was able to make it not too late.
Yay. Well, we just chatted for a bit. We didn't get started. So, okay, so the first step is in a large bowl using a hand. Again, this is Sally's baking addictions recipe, not mine. In a large bowl using handheld or stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. Heat the butter on medium speed until creamy for about 1 minute. And then you're gonna slowly add in like the powdered sugar, and then you're gonna get it going really fast so that you can get it a little whipped. And I'm gonna mute while I use my stand mixer. I'm not doing it yet, but once I start, I'm gonna mute, and then it's gonna be the non-baker's responsibility.
We got this.
This is actually, we're doing a service by not baking
It's
tonight.
ideal.
I think so.
Kelly got attacked by a cactus.
Joe
times
Catherine's
all around.
making mince meat pies. Or mince pies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't
I
hate doing
literally
that.
went out
What's the
and
point?
bought a hand mixer for this recipe because I did not have
Really?
Yeah, I got like
Mixers
a
are
really,
great.
really cheap one. Like I got one of the like crappy mainstay like Walmart brand ones, but
You'll use it again. So
Yeah.
I definitely will. I really want a stand mixer, but then every time I think about buying one, I look at the price and then it's hard to justify.
yeah.
Mine was
They do
a
pop up on
good
like
present.
Marketplace.
That is true. I've also seen like knockoff ones that look
Yeah.
cheaper than like 80 instead of like 200. So
Once I learned that mine could grate cheese for me, it became the most important thing I had ever purchased.
Yeah, my neighbor
But,
bought me a grater attachment, and it's amazing.
It's the greatest attachment.
but
This is what the people come for.
It'd be fun to do one of these one time where we all just like show up and bake whatever and then just like show off what we did at the end.
that would be fun. I recently have found my appreciation for Great British Bake Off. I used to not like it,
Yes.
but it's like my mother-in-law's like favorite show. Like I'm not even kidding. She watches it every single night. I love that for her. And so when we were spending so much time with her over the Thanksgiving holiday, like we were just like watching it on her couch, and I was like, you know what? This is kind of fun. I like this show.
It's great.
I've honestly kind of avoided it because I know once I'm in, I'm all in. And there's
It's
no going
really
back
good.
from that.
They do 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, if I'm not mistaken. And
I
2
just remember I did not take my egg yolk out to the temperature.
Daredevil.
I know. Hopefully it doesn't ruin it.
Kelly, I'm not like I think I was out for a little bit, and I don't know that I've seen the evolution of your office.
Yes.
And it's
So this is theoretically not going to be my office. My whole hope is that like I want to craft on this big desk. I just the room where all my books are going to live, where I'll do like word nerds and stuff, isn't done yet. And once it started snowing a lot, I wanted to like access to a window. So I'm in here for now, but this is mostly going to be like my craft space / guest room.
Well, it's still very cute.
There's a really cute chair directly behind my desk setup, but I'm too lazy to get up and turn on the light and then turn around the camera. So at some point I will show you, but it's very cute.
I am probably moving apartments in the next few months and spent like an inordinate amount of time. I don't have like, I've applied for an apartment. I don't have like a move-in date. I don't have like any of the, actual officially needed stuff. Just a concept, social plan. But I spent like an inordinate amount of time yesterday thinking about like, well, how do I want to do my workplace setup in the new apartment that I don't have yet? part of my thing is I work from home, so my current setup is like I've got my computer that I'm on now, and then like 2 monitors and a laptop for work. So you come into my office and it just looks like cyber crimes are happening.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to put my computer in here. Like I didn't want it to feel like that all the time.
Yeah.
But now that I also don't fully work from home, it feels a little different. So I'm still kind of feeling it out.
I mean, it's partially the amount of time I spend at this desk, but it's also just I have a lot of monitors, and that's not going to change. So.
Yeah, and I choose to have a lot of monitors. That is an important part of.
I didn't consider that when I put the mixer on full speed, it would look like I was in the middle of an earthquake. It's all so yeah, my butter was a little soft, but what you're aiming for is kind of fluffy like that.
It looks wonderful.
I missed it. Keep showing again. Sorry.
Okay. My lighting's not fantastic
Okay.
over here.
Got
Just
it.
kind of fluffy.
So,
Look at
I
this.
also did not check to make sure I have all the ingredients, and I just trusted that my husband looked at the recipe well enough and got the ingredients. So
I believe in him.
we'll see. I do too. I'm pretty sure he got it. But
Got this spatula this week at Walmart.
that's so
It's my pride and joy. It's the reason for the season. So yeah, once you've got your butter a little fluffy, you'll want to scrape it down just to make sure that all of the powdered sugar is not secretly hidden underneath the butter.
no. My powdered sugar bag split down the side.
Oh no!
Before. I don't think we've done one of these where something has happened, like to me that wasn't part of the plan. I just remember when we made the red velvet cakes, like I spilled batter all over my laptop.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
It
that.
was sticky until it died. It was sticky forever.
Oh.
I think it was like the R key that like was like permanently like sticky whenever I was trying to type something.
Nice.
I was like, I'm just a pirate now, I guess.
Yeah.
You bake things. I cook things.
Okay. I got it now. Aye.
Hello, Erin. Welcome to Team Not Baking Things.
You're on the
Bro, it's
bottom.
baker.
You're
Team
not
eating
baking.
Oh, Team Eating Things is
Yeah.
great.
That's the ideal team.
Eating and baking.
Okay.
Do people have like favorite holiday recipes, like that are kind of their go-to holiday recipes? Or...
Sally's gingerbread cookie recipe. Every time I've made it, someone has told me it's the best gingerbread cookie they've ever had. I've made it every Christmas for like 3 years. It's really good and really like straightforward.
Is it like really spicy gingerbread?
No, it's got like a little bit of warmth to it, but I
I
don't.
might add extra. I like my gingerbread cookies to burn.
Okay.
I need them.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
you
it's
do it.
definitely warming, but it's not like,
Okay.
whoa.
Gingerbread is like
So
the only
definitely
spicy cookie.
double it.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
In terms of like, I don't bake a whole lot, so like all of my like holiday recipes are like food. So I'd say like
Mhm.
mac and cheese. I always make mac and cheese. I always make dressing. I have a family punch that my great grandmother made, or I can't remember if it was my great grandma or my grandma. One of them has been baking forever, and I made it this past Thanksgiving for my husband's family. And it was gone super fast. So.
I want to try punch.
Oh, I can send the recipe. It's like super easy. It's literally like those like old school condensed like frozen juices.
Mm-hmm.
It's grape juice, orange juice, pink lemonade, and ginger ale.
Ooh.
And it is so good. And so, like, I always tell the story. So, like, the reason it's so popular in my family is because my grandma would have to get those juices a lot because she had 5 kids. But they were always super watered down. So they'd get like an orange juice instead of putting like 2 containers of water in it, they'd be putting like 5 because they got stretching it. And so Christmas and Thanksgiving were the only holiday that my mom and his siblings got to have like full juice, like full bodied juice. And like so it's just been a hit in our family literally forever. And it's so simple.
Yeah, one of the goals I didn't get around to this year is I really wanted to make like a personal cookbook of like friends and family recipes because they always tend to be the best. Plus, like just the stuff I made a lot to then give to my sister now that she has to cook more for herself. But the reality is I mostly still do the cooking for her children. And here we are.
We should put it on our bingo cards for next year because I also want to do that. So
I'm making a hobby bingo separate from like my actual goals bingo because I have so many hobbies. So my rule for myself is 20 of them have to be things I already have supplies for, and 5 of them can be new things.
So are they like whole new hobbies or like projects within hobbies? Because I can see it either way, but
Kind of both. Like right now, like most of it is like I have like roller skateboard because I have skate pads, helmet. I'm gonna go skate like 3 times. Like one of them is like make more balloon animals. I have like $300 of balloon animal making stuff in my closet that I touched. Like I have a very fancy kite that I bought that I thought I was gonna get the kite flying. So like things like that.
yeah. One of my goals this year was like getting back into a hobby that I'd kind of dropped. And I'm trying to like think through next year of like doing something like that or like what happens if I commit to one hobby? Will I actually get good enough at it that I stick with it versus doing 25 different hobbies? But the idea of a hobby bingo does sound really nice. Maybe I'll pick like 5 and then have a row per something.
One of the hobbies you picked should be sewing. Because I remember you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I want to do with this table.
That's one of the things on my hobby sheet is I want to make me and my daughter outfits. So that's like one of the squares. I've known how to sew since I was like 8 years old, but I haven't actually like made a garment in like probably like 6 years.
So once you've got your butter beaten and you've added the powdered sugar and gotten it like nice and fluffy, you'll want to add the egg yolk, beat that, add also the vanilla extract and the peppermint extract. I am using mint extract because that's what I had and I didn't want to buy a new extract. And the only difference is it's a little less strong than peppermint. So you could also theoretically use any of the other extracts though, if mint is not your thing. Raspberry, probably even no extract in the cookie. My guess is it would come out like those sugar ones. Yeah.
I bought a new set of measuring cups because I didn't have any like 3rd cups. And
no 3rd cups. I have all 3rd cups and no 4th cups.
The set I had didn't come with them. So I finally broke down and like bought a new set that had them. And of course, yeah, already went to like do the powdered sugar, couldn't find the 3rd cup or the 2/3 cup. I don't know where they are. I know where one of them is, but I don't know where the other one is.
After that, you're going to add all your dry ingredients: flour, cornstarch, baking powder, salt, if you haven't already. Apparently,
so since this is our
important. Sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
I was just trying to fill time as team not baking. I'm gonna wait till the cookies are chilling to ask about favorite books of the year since this is our last chat, and I assume people will want to address their reading app of choice. But in terms of non-book things, did anyone have things that they love this year? TV shows, movies, video games?
Stardew Valley.
Like Stardew year for the word nerds.
I'm spacing on the name of the Kristen Bell show. I loved the Kristen Bell show.
Nobody wants this, or no one wants this, or something.
I think it's Nobody Wants This. I really liked that. I feel like I fell even further behind on TV this year, but it's really nice finding something that I just like desperately wanted to binge. I also desperately want to binge Shrinking Season 2, but it's coming out week by week, so the universe has other plans.
I finally started playing Baldur's Gate, and it's really good. Start.
I love Baldur's Gate.
It's been
It's
so
the only,
fun.
like, combat game I've played. I love Baldur's Gate.
I was scared I wouldn't like it because I prefer a more traditional combat style in my games, and I'm not a huge like D&D fan. But I mostly just don't like acting games. I think is the issue, but I wasn't sure if I would like the combat, but I really do. It's very strategic feeling.
I really like I've been playing Echoes of the Plum Grove, and that's been really fun.
Say that one more time.
Echoes of the Plum Grove. It's like a cozy game of consequences. So like you can die, like you can get like smallpox, and you can like also infect the entire town, which is sort of fun. But it's like in the style of Paper Mario. And it's like actually a challenge. You have like a hunger meter, so you can like starve, and nothing grows in winter. So like that's kind of like one of the challenges I really like, because like you have to have food, and you can have a family, like get married, have kids. You also have to make sure they don't starve. But like once your character like dies, whether like old age or like I don't know, they eat a poison mushroom, you play as like one of your descendants, and so you can switch like through the family line. And that's really fun because you can like start like blood feuds with like other villagers that will also have kids and like continue to go about their lives. So I like having this.
Is Plum Grove the one where you can like start a feud with your neighbor and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard about it. Family line right now. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So it's basically real life where you can fight with your neighbors and starve.
Okay. There's also like witchy stuff too. Like there's like a witch, and you have to like do like they're basically their version of the Stardew Community Center is basically like offerings on an altar, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
I'm partway through the Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and I'm really enjoying it.
I played that one earlier this year. I actually put it on my, see if I can get the right side of this. Right here, this is my little Zelda from because I finished the game in November, but I'm really mad because I accidentally realized that after I did her that when I have this up right, she's like sideways. Still cute though. Sorry, please continue.
I was gonna say it's not a video game or a game, but I've been watching Dan to Dan on Netflix. It's like a really cute new anime about a girl that can see the supernatural and a guy that's like obsessed with aliens. So they make this like bet because they're like supernatural is real, but there's no such thing as aliens, and then aliens are real, but there's no such thing as supernatural. They like swap places, and they have to prove that the other person's thing isn't real, but then of course it's both real. It's really cute. I really like it, and so the new one comes out every week, so I've been binging that. And then I also started watching Digital Circus on Netflix, which is very weird and very disturbing. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it, like if I really like it or I just find it very disturbing. It's like a little of both, and I'm kind of like I'm going to keep watching because I need to know what happens, basically.
So just the full range there between the two shows.
Disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the cute one and you got the disturbing one.
Cute and disturbing and weird. Well, like the main guy that you're like, I'm pretty sure he's a bad guy. It's all animated, right? It's like a girl that's been sucked into this virtual reality, essentially. And so the main, I think he's the villain who's keeping them all trapped in there. It's just like those clacky teeth thing with eyeballs. It's and a top hat, and his name is Kane, and he's horrible, and I hate him. Very disturbing.
This year feels like such a blur. I can't remember what happened at the beginning of the year. I don't know.
I'm looking at my embroidery
Ooh.
to see if there's
Clues.
yeah. In my January, I had a rough January looking at this. My cat broke my TV, my car broke down, I got COVID. And now I also accidentally sent an email to like a bunch of people at work that had been aborted. So that's what happened to me, Jenny.
Now I want to see what you stitched for those things, though.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can. January is like my first month doing it too, so like I feel like the subsequent months have gotten a lot better. But like, it's so hard to point to things on the screen. That's my COVID test. That's my broken TV. It's really hard to see. That's a sad car in a sad place.
Sure.
I feel like the one with the work email doesn't make sense unless I tell the story. We have an email that I'm in charge of at work that like I don't personally write it, but it's like automated and I'm kind of in charge of it. And one day the automation just broke. Like the day we were going to send it out to like everyone in the company, it just broke. So this email is for a coaching assessment, and the email just truncated like right in the middle of the word assessment. So we just sent an email to like everyone in the company that said something like, "It's time to take a coaching ass." So this is like a little peach and an email next to it to commemorate that event.
Lovely.
So that's what I did in January. And I watched The Mummy for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Big for me.
Big for all of us.
Yeah.
You watched it.
Yeah, I did not continue watching a movie every month. I know we started out the year doing that, and I did not continue it. I think I made it through like 4 or 5 months.
You watched yeah, you did it for a while for sure.
Yeah, I have seen now more movies than I saw prior to that.
I got hired last year in the programming job that I really, really wanted. And then in January was part of the worst go live in our division's history. So my January sucked too. But we had our do-over this week, and it was the best in the division's history. So I'm hoping that's a good omen for 2025.
At the very least, you all get to keep your jobs.
Yeah, at the very least, we're not fired for Christmas. So.
That's a good omen.
Which means I get to mark it off on my bingo sheet. Don't get fired.
I'm just flipping back through my journal for kind of similar reminders, looking through the photos. And in March of this year, I went to a antique store or like a thrift market thing and saw a fossilized seahorse in a top hat that I've been thinking about ever since and wishing I had purchased.
Nicole asked, does The Mummy hit the same watching it in 2024 as compared to 1999?
Arguably better, because I know I'm bi now. I mean, I didn't watch it in 99, so.
It still hits the same if you did watch it in 99. This year, Emma and I went and saw it in theaters together.
We also saw the entire extended edition of
Yes.
this year.
Yes, we spent 4 hours in a movie theater 3 days in a row watching
I will-
all 3 extended.
I will be
deliveries.
forever impressed because Emma did that while also growing a human and was like constantly exhausted. And the fact that she kept showing up to that movie with you was so impressive.
It was like the worst part. It was the first trimester too. It was the worst exhaustion part. I was so tired and nauseous. The movie theater popcorn did help the nausea, though. I will say that.
It helps most things.
Yeah.
Wait, for real? The movie theater popcorn helps?
Helps.
It's a little calming for your stomach.
Really salty stuff helps me when I'm super.
Oh, okay. I was like, what chemicals are in there?
I ate a lot of potato chips in the first trimester.
Huh.
Hopefully, I'm going to see Wicked tomorrow with my sister, which I'm very excited about.
That's exciting.
I've
Heard good things about it.
Embroidering as we speak.
Oh, nice.
So, little Wicked Witch of the West, because I saw Wicked.
Real quick, once you've got all your dry ingredients mixed in, it should look like a cookie dough. And you want to get it into the fridge pretty quickly, just because it needs to chill for, it says 30 minutes minimum. We'll see how patient I am. I'm taking mine out of the bowl so I can make the frosting in the bowl. So that's roughly what it looks like. And I figure if it's flat too, it'll chill faster.
I figure I'll make my frosting while they're baking, or I'll wash my bowl while they're baking. I also started preheating my oven and putting it in the fridge. That's a good idea to do.
Smart.
I'm like a couple steps behind because it takes me longer to process things.
I read the recipe like 17 times before we went live. That's the only reason it's going so fast for me. I'm gonna go wash
So.
the bowl.
Something else a little depressing about this embroidery journal is when I was looking at January, I did notice I had put that I was revising the same book that Megan and I are still revising. Don't love that for me.
Nicole tried to get her dad to go with her to see the extended Lord of the Rings at the theater. They were showing all 3 in the same day, and he told me he just couldn't sit in the theater that long. I think I feel similarly.
We were rough. Yeah. When we did it, it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or no, Saturday, Sunday, that day.
Week. I would have done it.
I remember watching them all like in the same day when I was like a teenager, or like probably even more early 20s on DVD and whatever. And like it's weird that like being old also means you can't sit still for as long, as well as can't be active for as long.
Because I've watched them all in one day before, but like at home, I can like get up and move around and stuff.
Was your dough really crumbly or did I do something wrong? We'll make it as fun.
I don't think she's got far.
I can hear you in my headphones. It was really crumbly at first, but then I just mixed it a bit longer and it
Okay.
started to come together.
Okay, cool. I will keep fixing.
And if it doesn't come together, it might just be that your butter was a little cold or something. And if you like try doing it with your hands, it'll probably come together. Okay. Got my bowl cleaned for the frosting.
Excellent.
And I got a drink. My phone was showing me reminder pictures that I think it was like 2 years ago, Kelly, you guys were here at this time, or you had like a week before.
Yeah. I was actually very impressed with those like popped up on my Facebook a few days ago of like, wow. And like I've been there since then. That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That's a thing that we did this year.
Yeah. We finally did our big trip.
It was a good trip.
I'd never really visited Texas before, so that was fun.
Yeah, I've only driven or flown through it. Never actually visited.
You guys all got to go to HEB.
Ah,
Yeah.
I was watching something. I feel like it was a sports event or something, and there was a Texas team in it, and they kept playing HEB commercials. And every time I was like, you don't gotta rub it in.
The Texans, I think HEB is like sponsored the Texans. Oh, and the Astros too.
Maybe.
Well, and baseball.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I had a baby this week. That was kind of cool.
Yes.
Nicely done.
She's gigantic now. Will be 5 months on Tuesday.
And you like pivoted your business to like the.
I did.
Yeah.
Hardcore pivot. I had to save my wrists.
Fair.
Probably came like. I always intended to pivot, but I did not intend such an aggressive pivot as fast as it. It was literally like one day I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Let's try book stuff now.
That's just having a sale on their Etsy right now, by Book or by Hook. If you want blind book dates and cute bookmarks and stuff.
I also have blinding with an audiobook, which I think
Oh yeah.
but I don't know if other people are as avid of audiobook listeners as I am, or Megan.
So I do want at some point in this chat to force everyone to pick their absolute favorite book from this year. Like, if you had to narrow it down to just one.
I don't
You
even
didn't
know
give
where
us any warning, Kelly?
No.
we probably
I
should have
six.
seen it coming, but
And I mean, if there are multiple like worth mentioning, I do want to hear them. But first, you must choose one.
I did not read a
Actually
lot
read
this
books
year.
this year. Opposite. When I said I read books, I read like 30. That's a lot for me.
I read like 24. I think I hit 25,
Yeah.
which is not a lot compared to past years.
I've read 22, which is not a lot for me compared to usual.
There's like a weird bug on Fable when I look through my read books for this year. It like snuck in one from March 2014. I don't know why it's there.
Mine tried to double count a book. It had the September House in there twice.
I mean, worthy book of being on it.
Yeah, yeah. But I did not actually read it twice.
That is what I'm reading right now.
Yay!
I read it
Oh,
twice.
good. Good. It's real
It's so
good.
good. I
I'm like-
got my entire family to read it.
Amazing. I'm like a little over halfway. I think a little over halfway through. It's the audiobook, so I'm not sure, but
Yes.
it's real good.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
Chapter
Okay,
one.
I'm gonna say my favorite book I read this year was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies.
I was gonna say that too.
So good.
I thought
Okay,
about
so-
the book of poetry about bugs.
All right, so you guys picking that helps me to like not pick it.
Yeah.
So because it's definitely in contention.
You were going to pick the poetry book about bugs?
Finally, someone's read.
I think probably Yellowface for me.
Oh, that was a good
That was a fun
one.
one.
A real good one. Yeah, that was good. What else did I read? The Writing Retreat. I think I read that this year.
Oh,
That was
nice.
good. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with The Will of the Many by James Islington.
Ooh.
I think I have a hold on that right now. Waiting for it.
I wish I'd read it a little closer to the sequel. So, like, it feels like one I could reread, like I'd reread fantasy series that I loved before, except there's only one book right now. So,
Yeah, my library has another 13 weeks for me.
I feel like everybody picks such good books, and I'm looking through my Goodreads, and I'm like, oh man, all of this is just mine.
what's the best book you read all
That was
year?
a 5-star. That was a 5-star.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I read a lot of nonfiction this year. 8 of my 24.
Huh. I've been reading more as well. 2, 3, 4.
I read several older books this year.
Hmm.
Like we're talking like 20 plus years old. Kinda.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to read the Encyclopedia of Fairies. After you recommended it, I bought it. And I still haven't
It's
read it.
really good. I was waiting to get the second one because I wanted it in paperback because I have the first one in paperback. So now I can get that one. But
Second one was really good too.
yeah.
I'll be sad when the series is over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read 10 nonfiction this year. That's not bad. And I liked them. Like, it was, oh gosh, this feels like another old person thing.
Oh no.
I don't know. I feel like I've been a long time like into the nonfiction, and I've like not as many of the word nerds have been into nonfiction. So I feel like I'm pulling people over to the dark side of nonfiction.
I'd always read a couple. This year was a sharp increase for some reason.
I feel like there's been an increase in ones that are written in a way that is more engaging. Like,
It might kind of be an old person thing because you might have just entered the target audience where they like write nonfiction books for.
Hell yeah, I want to know about how the roads are affecting the animals.
very true.
The book was called Crossings. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I usually read a couple nonfiction, and I actually haven't read any this year.
Wow.
I read
I'm gonna,
the Montessori Child. I think that's like the only one nonfiction book I read this year. Were, like,
fair. Nicole's favorite of the year, A Dark Horse But Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tinkle. It was my
Oh,
first
that's
read
on
from
my
him. It hit all the typical horror tropes in a way that lets you know he's a horror fan.
Yeah, I read Camp Damascus this year, and I really liked that one, but I kind of felt like the ending didn't hit as hard as the beginning did. But I'm excited to read Bury Your Gaze, and I think I'm gonna put on my bingo chart for next year to read like a Tingler. For a second, I was like, should I read all of his? But they're not.
Probably not.
If they were on Kindle Unlimited, I was gonna do it. They're not, and I can't pay $3 450 times
For like 20-page books.
for like 20-page books.
No.
Just one every day, and then some.
Yeah, a Tingler a day.
That's hilarious.
I think my favorite nonfiction. I'm making a new rule that you can do a favorite fiction and a favorite nonfiction, since
Sure.
trying to only give me one. I think my favorite nonfiction this year was How to Say Babylon, which is a memoir. It was actually recommended to me by one of the booksellers at one of the shops we went to when we were on our little Houston trip. So we had an absolutely lovely bookseller at, was it Kindred Stories? Is that the name of the?
Yeah, Kindred Stories.
Yeah, just like a very like clearly like curated with love collection. And so I do really like nonfiction. I think when I like just peruse nonfiction like on the Libby app, it's always like digging through like 5 pages of World War II histories to get to stuff I actually want to read. So
Yeah.
I was really excited to get some recommendations, and that one was like, I really loved it. It was so good.
I generally avoid memoirs, so I'd be curious to check one out that I know someone loved.
I think with memoirs, it like kind of helps to know like what you're looking for, because like I don't love like celebrity memoirs most of the time, like unless it's a celebrity that I'm like super interested in their life for whatever reason. And most celebrities I'm not, even if I like them.
Yeah.
Whereas like memoirs that are just people with really interesting lived experiences, to me, like I think are really interesting. I also tend to like shorter memoirs. Although How to Say Babylon was on the longer end of memoir, but
I read a memoir earlier this year called Briefly Perfectly Human by I don't remember the author's name. But it was by a death doula. And she's like talking about her experiences with that, and it was really interesting. If you're planning on making the frosting soon, I would recommend taking out the milk so it can warm up a little.
And hello to Andrew.
Hello.
Welcome.
Favorite
book
of the
this
year?
was The Prophet by Robert Jones Jr., which I know nothing about. I talked about it last week, but my favorite nonfiction was Unreasonable Hospitality by Will something. My husband just took my phone, so I can't look it up on Fable. But it's the one from the episode of The Bear where Richie goes to the fancy restaurant. And just it very clearly inspired that episode. And it's just like a really interesting look into an industry that I have no interest in, but like well written, and just like, oh, someone who's passionate about it talking about something they're passionate about can make for a very good read.
You also need soft butter for the buttercream frosting. So if you haven't softened that, it's go time.
Okay, now that we've done top book, I feel like we can just open it up to like what were the
worst book?
Do it.
What's the worst book I read this year? I'm not gonna necessarily say it aloud. I'm just trying to think like if I read anything that I just hated this year. I've gotten better at DNFing, so maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed basically everything I read this year.
Yeah.
I don't think I gave anything a bad score. I know which one was the worst one I read, actually. I'm not going to say it on here, though. But
Yeah, no, since I don't think anyone wants to blast their lower star reads, I was gonna say, like, apart from your top number one book, were some people loved this year?
I read The Between by Tananarive Due, and that was my first book by her. It's like a 20-year-old book as well, maybe older. I think it came out in the 90s. But it was really good, like very spooky imagery.
One of the most surprising books I read this year, just like not surprised it was good, but like I just like hadn't heard anything about it and just came across it on Libby and read it, was To Shape a Dragon's Breath by Monica Blackgoose. Yeah, I was like scrolling through it. I was like, ooh, a dragon book, a boarding school book, and a Native American author. And yeah, it's really cool. If you've got young people in your lives around like Harry Potter age, I would say it's like a good replacement for that. It was really cool. Really cool world building.
I read A River of Enchantment that I really liked. It's like I don't even know how, a friend recommended it to me. That's how I found it. It's adult, it's fantasy with, I wouldn't say it's romantasy, but I'd say it's fantasy with pretty strong romantic elements. But I'm not usually like a world building girly, but it was like pretty like solid world building that I think helped keep me interested. It was also a good story and interesting characters. But
Is it the one? Is it Rebecca Ross?
yes.
Yeah, I really liked that one. I enjoyed it a lot more than the other one that's like really popular that I can't think of the title of. I feel like it deserved the hype more and didn't get it. The sequel was really good too.
I still need to read the sequel.
Nicole was very ready with other books that she loved. Like there's just like a paragraph in the chat.
I've been listening to so many audiobooks lately. I forgot completely that I read The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I really liked that one. And then The Twisted Ones by Susan Fisher. I really like that one. I liked Home is Where the Bodies Are, but not as much as I liked the other ones.
Yeah, I was sort of disappointed by that one.
Yeah, I did like it.
Really obvious.
Yeah, it's good, but I did find it was obvious, and then like I'm like all about the horror / supernatural, and that's not like a factor. So it's just straight up murdery fun. And then halfway through The September House, and it is good. So much audiobook horror right now. It's great.
I read Never Lie by Freedom McFadden. That's the first Freedom McFadden book I read. I liked it.
Yeah. What was that one called again?
Never Lie. It was
Never Lie.
not her newest one, but it's one of the new ones.
Okay.
I also have the boyfriend that I have. A lot of people who love her work actually said that they didn't like Never Lie. So I thought it was great. For the first like thriller I ever like listened to, I was thrilled. So
I reread a lot this year, which I'm really glad I did. Like I read all the Hunger Games books, the Raven Cycle books, Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Viper. Can't read it. I don't know. It's nice going into books that you know you're gonna love. Glad I'm making more time for that.
I rewatched a lot of shows this year. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally just finished rewatching The King's Gambit like the third time. I rewatched Anne with an E again. That's like a really good comfort show of mine though. So like also
I
not
gave up
his daughter watching that show. Like I cried a lot more than I did the first time I watched it.
Yeah, I stopped that show after it got canceled.
It's still pretty finished.
Yeah.
I read horror movie by Paul Tremblay this year.
Oh.
Shit was weird. It was really weird. But the audiobook had like a full cast, which was really fun. And it got like weird and meta by the end. It was really messed up by the end, but I had a good time.
Pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, After Dark has a full cast for the audiobook. I was pretty excited about that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I mean, there's
so
only
exciting.
there's only 3 characters, but it's still cool that it's like three different people.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. I will totally be picking that up. Additionally, an audiobook now.
After Dark comes out
January 7th.
7th.
That's soon.
Very soon.
So soon.
If you pre-order it now, that's probably the best deal you're going to get on it for a little while.
True. Megan, look at you. You're always so good at shouting out people. Yeah. The cover's on the book is on the other side of the room. I'm lazy, but the cover's pretty.
The cover is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. She did a really good job.
I'm pre-ordering it on Audible right now because I have a credit that
Huzzah.
I cannot imagine anything better to do with this credit.
Yay. Yeah, it was a really cool process because I got to actually pick the audiobook narrators, like the 2 girls.
That's incredibly cool. And you have, I want to know everything about this.
They just sent me people's tryouts, essentially, like reading a line from the character, and they sent me like 6 of each. Like different actresses, and then I was just like, this one sounds the most like Holland, this one sounds the most like Evie, and then the third one was a dude for show, and I didn't pick him because they were just like, this guy's in the office next week and he has a sexy voice, so we're gonna get him to do the recording. And I was like, okay, he sounds sexy.
I'm in.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun listening to people's audiobook tryouts.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I didn't get to do that for Witches, Bash and Ruin, so it was kind of cool. And they're like, here, we sent you 12 audio files.
Yeah, I've never heard of an author having like a say in that, so that's very cool.
Nope. I was not expecting it. Yeah. Very cool.
If you're getting started on your frosting while your dough chills, I would recommend starting with about half the amount of milk it calls for, and then you can decide later if you want to add more. It's not the end of the world if you add it all at once, and it's just too liquidy. You can just add more powdered sugar, but I did not need all of the milk. All right, yeah, I think it's dough chilling time is up. If you've been relatively following along, I'm gonna take all of my dishes to the sink really quick and pull out my dough. I like to use these little silicone sheets. If anyone hasn't used these before, they're great. Nothing sticks to them. So.
I've got parchment paper.
Yeah.
But does the job.
I think it said to do like tablespoon-sized balls. I'm gonna eyeball it because I don't care that much. But
I remember that I have a cookie scoop, and I was like, "Oh, perfect."
nice.
Megan, do you know how much these are expected to spread?
From the pictures, it doesn't look like a lot.
That would be my guess.
It says to put them 3 inches apart.
Yeah.
Mine are more like 2 inches apart.
My dough does not feel very cold. So I hope my fridge isn't broken.
Mine doesn't feel very cold either.
That's good. So either both our fridges are broken.
But we're really screwed.
Was anyone else watching the Game Awards this week?
What is?
It's like the yearly video game awards show.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. They announced a ton of games I'm excited for the next few years. So
The one you posted about seems really interesting. I watched
Yes.
the clip of it from the Game Awards after you had mentioned it. And it looks so cool.
have you played It Takes Two?
I have played like 2 seconds of it.
Yeah.
I'll be real, I have a very low frustration tolerance when it comes to games.
Mm.
I want to try it again because me and my husband really love Overcooked. And
Oh,
so we're
yeah.
like, we should, like, since we play so much Overcooked together, like we're trying to 100% it. We should play it together. So.
I liked it, but I think the story for what's it called? Like split fiction or something. The story sounds more interesting to me for that one.
Absolutely.
So.
And it looks so cool. Like,
Yeah.
when you had said it's from the people who made It Takes Two, I hadn't looked it up yet. And when I looked it up, I was like, whoa, that's the same studio? That's
Yeah. I feel like I'm not up on like what books are coming out next year. I feel like I used to have a million. Oh, this is coming out and this is coming out.
Like, I've got sequels I'm excited for, but
Yeah.
that's kind of it. And like the third Emily Wilde is earlier in the year.
Yeah.
I want to read I Got Abducted by Aliens, and now I'm
Oh yes.
I'll literally read anything she writes. So
Yeah.
literally anything. She can make like a pamphlet, and I would devour it.
I think the Brown Sisters spinoff maybe comes out next year.
What?
Ooh, what?
I did not know about this.
Yeah, it's like you didn't know this. It's they're all like, I think at least the first one. I don't know if all 3 are like Jane Austen retellings. I think, but it's like the siblings in the town in the 3rd book.
Yeah, like I knew reading the book who the spin-off family was gonna be. I just
I
had not heard anything
it
about
comes
it.
out next year. I feel like it's been long enough.
I was like, who are you talking about? But
Like as soon as they were introduced, I'm like, I see what's happening here.
Yeah, they're getting books too.
I'm gonna have just a little too much dough for my pan, which is infuriating. I read a historical romance this year, which isn't typically my thing. It was called A Sure Thing by, I think their last name was Lowell or something.
Is it the bike race one?
Yeah, the bike race one. It was really good.
I was like, that sounds familiar.
I like tore through that one. I had a physical copy of it.
Oh. Family If Everyone comes out January 3rd. What? No, that's not right. That says 2023. Highly suspicious. Oh, she doesn't update her Instagram very much. This was from a very long time ago.
That'll do it.
By very much, I mean she has not updated her Instagram in 103 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about a new book.
All right.
They're all wildly different sizes.
I crunched up my candy canes beforehand. I didn't think I needed to be doing that on camera, but to do that, I put a few candy canes in a plastic bag and beat it with a rubber mallet a bunch of times. So, but I don't know if I'm actually going to use a ton of them because I don't want it to be hard to chew.
I just like
They do get, if they're small enough, they will get kind of soft in the frosting
Yeah.
if you leave them right, I think.
I hate foods that have two different textures. Like I can't eat them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, Nicole. I just saw this that they're an inch apart, but I assume it'll be fine. I feel like people always tell you way more space between than you actually need. Maybe I'll eat my words, but I think I only put like an inch between all mine. I'm still reading Till Death Do Us Part. I'm hoping to finish that one like today or tomorrow. And then I've got some Christmas rom-coms I want to read.
My work is making us watch Hot Frosty. Have you guys seen?
Oh no.
My mother-in-law was watching that while she was visiting.
I
Oh my
watched
God.
it. Very silly.
Yeah, we're I mean, it's Crazy Maple, so like the stuff we're writing, it makes sense to be watching something for like a work Christmas party like Hot Frosty. But I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's very silly.
Okay.
And it doesn't help that like he's just the actor who played Ted in Schitt's Creek. And like he's not bad looking, but I think his face is goofy.
He's a snowman.
Yeah.
The whole
And so
thing
it's
is
like ripped body and this man's goofy looking face. I was like, he's so
Perfect.
hot. And I'm like, I just find him so goofy looking.
My
That's
favorite
not a
part
stud
is
muffin. That's a little guy.
yeah. They like take him to the doctor or something, and the whole town is trying to just figure out what's going on. And they explain what's going on, and everyone believes them. And she's like, "You guys believe me?" And this one woman goes, "It's Christmas." That explains it.
that explains everything.
It's Christmas and a Netflix writing budget.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love Christmas movies like that, though.
I'm so excited. Oh, there's something really off-putting about like they did this kind of with like Tarzan or whatever too, like Tarzan 2, where they're like, oh, he's just born. He used to be a snowman. He knows nothing. And then it's like, let's take him to bed. I'm like, he's like 5 minutes old, lady. He's a sentient snowman. Stop it immediately. He's so sexy. He's a baby.
I did love Doug Judy and the other Brooklyn Nine-Nine actor.
Charles, right?
Yeah, and Charles. Yeah, they were the cops in it. And
They're in it. Oh my god.
yeah, Doug Judy is like the actor who plays him as like the sheriff.
Oh
And the
my
lead
God.
woman is Gretchen Wieners from Mean Girls.
Lacey Chabert.
Yeah.
She's in nearly every Hallmark Christmas movie, actually.
Yeah.
Solid life choices.
Oh,
I'm excited.
the Talia Hibbert book, it's called Skybriar. I don't know if that's the official title or just the working title. Goodreads says it's coming out in August of 2025.
Ooh.
Whenever it graces our shelves, I will read it.
Yes. I'm really excited to use Fable for like a whole year.
Same. And I do see myself reading more so that I can like justify like posting an end of month wrap up and like.
Yeah.
Although it's going to get to the point where my streak will hurt when I lose it, so which is good.
Yeah.
But that day will come.
Oh, I've already lost my streak a million times, and I just keep telling myself I'll try in 2025.
Yeah.
I'll take it
I meant, like-
seriously next year.
Yeah. I'm at like 32 days. So it's just like, oh, it's enough to like try to hang on to it, but
Does anyone have anything they're trying to get done before the end of the year, or are we all just kind of sliding in the embroidery?
Yeah.
I would like to finish my plot outline for my revisions for the story I'm trying to work on. But I'm not putting pressure on myself to actually start writing it because it's almost Christmas and that seems insane. So just a plot outline so that I can like immediately open it up and start writing in January.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, that sounds fun, actually, having like something. I'm never going to be done revising, so it won't matter for me, but I love that for you. That sounds fun.
You're never going to be done revising. It's just for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm in
Eternity.
purgatory.
Yes. Revision purgatory.
No, I think it's going to go faster though, because our website launch redo was a week ago. A week ago Monday, and it went really, really well. So I'm not going to have to work over Christmas or New Year's, and
nice.
hopefully things can get back to normal.
Very random side thought about I won't phrase it in terms of Kyra asking worst book read of the year, but like something's been
I
disappointing.
didn't ask that. You asked that.
Yeah,
I did not ask worst book of the
Oh,
year.
Megan.
I did that.
Right. And like it's definitely not that. But when I started reading The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley, the first paragraph hooked me. I thought it was going to be great. It's like the writing's good. It's like it's won like best sci-fi from the Goodreads Choice Awards. It is not a sci-fi. It is a bureaucracy romance set
Okay,
in like
now I'm more interested.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like not hooking me as much as I thought it would, especially
Huh.
because I'd heard so many people like love it. But yeah, there's no like real sci-fi elements. It's basically like they pulled characters or they pulled people out of the past and now they are trying to acclimate to slightly future London. And they're going to fall in love, probably.
What is this, Kelly?
The Ministry of Time. Oh, Misty Kate is asking, so is Fable an alternative to Goodreads, which I never got the hang of? Yes, it is. Please let us tell you about this. And then Mr. Rory said, I use Storygraph. We tried Storygraph. I couldn't get into it. Fable hooked me immediately.
I'm worried I tried Storygraph too early. Like it just wasn't quite done yet.
Yeah.
But Fable did get me really quickly. There's like a couple UI things I would like for them to change. It's like really hard to find like where do I see my lists? How do I go just like look for things that I would like to see more regularly?
Yeah.
But,
As opposed to Goodreads, which has a dream UI.
yeah. It has a familiar one.
Yeah, so Fable has like, it's really colorful and fun, and there's a lot of like graphs and pretty cute things. There's book clubs, which I'm sure we're going to end up using.
Yeah, I want to do that next year.
Because like their book club features let you just kind of like post by where you are in the book. You can also like buy an ebook on the Storygraph app and then like leave comments and like highlights that other people in the book club can see, which I think is incredibly cool. I don't know if I want to like read a book on my phone, but if we did one for like the whole year, I could like suck it up and read a little bit when I'm waiting for things and whatever. So
I'll just buy a tablet. So I can read it on that.
yeah.
I read on my iPad a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have an
I just
iPad.
read fan fiction on my iPad.
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
I have a Kindle that I like. It's just sitting in a drawer because I either read on my phone or read on my iPad.
Okay. See, I mostly read like if I read ebooks, it's on my Kindle. So, no. Misty Kate also loves iPad. So, yeah, I could try it that
They've
way
got
because I
TV.
really like the idea of like seeing comments at other people.
Yeah.
There's like a downside of like who wants to go first and have no comments, but
Yeah. I like that you can record what TV you're watching. I care a lot about TV. So, and it's got the streak. So you can like log each day. You can log that you read and you can log which book you read that day. Like if you're
and
reading
then you see like a little calendar that shows you of like which books you were reading and which days.
Yeah.
And stuff. Is
I
it
think
helpful?
that's fun.
Probably not. But yeah, it's fun.
I've
And,
read
like,
more
let
than
you
I would
see-
have without it. So
Yeah. You can see how much of a like match you are with friends you have on the app. It tells you like a breakdown of genres and authors and stuff for the year.
did you say it shows
Good
friendship
time all around.
matches?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Did
we need more friends.
Because it has like a Goodreads like transfer, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Does it work
Both-
decently?
Yeah, all my stuff came over. That was the thing I didn't like about Storygraph is
Yeah.
my stuff came over
I
wrong.
have so much history on Goodreads. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not super married to Goodreads as a platform, but I do like my data in there.
Yeah, I had no
Yeah.
issues with it.
I haven't noticed anything get brought over wrong. So
Andrew says, I love reading on my phone. It abuses the muscle from scrolling Twitter.
That's smart. I gotta try that. I'm scrolling too much this year. Although I guess we're not gonna have TikTok, so I'll be
scroll
scrolling
while you
less.
still can.
Yeah. Eat, drink, and be merry.
See, I'd love to find like a book club to do that way and read through Fable for anyone who wants to. I just want to find one that I know we're all gonna love. One's like the September House where we can go, but without having read it before.
It is real hard to know if everyone's going to like a book when no one has read it.
Right? Incredibly difficult. I feel like so much of what hurt book club, and besides just like busy lives, was like we don't know, so we'd end up reading a bunch that were just like a lot of people struggled to finish.
We could always try like someone pick a book that they like, that they loved. Because that's how I read it. Everyone kept talking about it.
I know.
So,
yeah.
Or like someone book that they would like to reread again. They liked it that much, and then everyone else can read it for the first time. And we just like switch person.
It feels so high pressure though. Like, what if you all hate what I love?
I've liked every book you've recommended this year.
I would just take that opportunity to make you guys read something completely unhinged. Like, I have my friends at my mercy. Yes.
Like one's like the September House of just like whenever someone next shows up with one that they love, like Emily Wilde would have been the same of like I have no qualms about recommending those books to people.
Just a heads up, these cooked much faster than the thing said. So mine got a little dark on the bottom. Not terribly, but I set my timer for like the lowest number of minutes, and a few of them got very dark on the bottom.
Yeah, so Misty Kate, if you decide to join Fable, my profile is on the Word Nerds Discord, and then from there you can just see who I'm friends with, which is I think almost entirely Word Nerds at this point. I followed one random person.
Really?
I don't remember how it happened.
It's all blur.
I bought a really elaborate fan fiction tracker from Etsy. It's like a really nice spreadsheet. So I keep seeing people do AO3 Wrapped at the end of the year. And like I always feel like I don't read a lot of books, but I read a lot of fan fiction. So I'm curious to see how many words I actually read in a year if I like add that in. I mean, there's some fan fiction I read that are like almost 1 million words, like not even kidding.
Jeez.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones has been going on since like I want to say like 2008. It's still going.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like she like literally will not update for months and then drop like a 30 hours.
That sounds like a more responsible way to write those. So
yeah. How long should we let the cookies cool before we ice them?
At least 10 minutes. Pretty much until they don't even feel warm when you touch them. Otherwise, the frosting will melt.
Yeah.
Nicole would definitely download Fable and join a book club with all of us and promises to leave plenty of annotations since she actually loves adding notes while she reads. So
Yay. These are a very interesting texture.
That was a very interesting face you made when you bit into that cookie.
It was not what I was expecting. It's like crisp all the way down, but not crunchy at all. Like really soft.
Like bad soft.
No, not bad. It's unlike.
I'm scared
It's
to
like
try it.
almost
I'm such a texture
shortbread.
person.
Yeah.
It's like almost a shortbread texture,
But softer.
but softer. Yeah. I was not sure about them just from looking at them, so I was like, I gotta try a little bit. It's very like lightly minty, and it's like shortbread, like crumbly, like shortbread. The panic in your eyes,
I don't like them.
like a hostage situation.
They're too powdery.
They're very powdery.
They're
I
very
should have known
powdery.
from the description, but I was still surprised. I'm
I
excited to
tasted a
try
lot
it
of
with the frosting.
And like the cookie dough is very powdery. I was
Really?
like, oh no. I was like, oh, maybe it'll be different when they bake. They were not.
How did she describe it? She said in the thing, their texture is so unique. It's like a cross between a shortbread cookie and a cakey cookie, and they melt in your mouth. So she did not misrepresent them.
It's like a shortbread cookie that gave up midway through.
20.
All right.
Okay, after like 4 bites, I like it more.
Yeah. It was just so surprising at first.
Well, I was like looking at the picture and like the way they described it, I was expecting it more like cake-like than like
I was expecting like those supermarket cookies.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting too.
Yeah.
That is not the texture.
No, not at all.
Which I love the supermarket like sugar cookies.
Same.
And you either love them or you hate them. There's like no in between.
And I love them.
They're so good. Jonah hates them. He's not like them. And I'm like, oh, well, that's unfortunate for you.
Well, maybe he'll love these ones, and then they will have a loving home.
Hopefully, because I will probably just eat this one and then that's it. There's so much dough.
I had to throw a bunch of mine away because they got too dark on the bottom. But I have like 6 more in the oven now that I'm going to bake for about half as long. So I got high hopes for those.
I put mine in for 13 minutes and it's like the perfect amount of brown on the bottom.
I put mine in for 13 minutes and some of them were so burnt that I just threw them away.
I also did 13 minutes and mine are like really light, so we've all got different temperature ovens.
Megan, you might need to get an oven thermometer.
I know.
It's funny because like altitude can also affect that, but I have to assume Megan and Emma are similar altitudes.
Yeah. Where does Sally live? Sally's baking addiction bio.
Nicole, I also don't think I flattened mine enough either because they are like a little like rounded. But I think that's just how cookies be sometimes.
Sally lives in Maryland, which I don't think is high altitude. Maybe Kaylin knows Sally.
Probably.
Isn't that how it works? You live in a state. That's also how you know Chuck Tingle, Kyra.
Yeah, it is. In fairness, Chuck
You
Tingle
could,
does
and you
claim,
would never know.
yeah, does claim to be from Billings, Montana, which is not just the same state, but the same town, and it is not that big of a town.
Could be your
could've-
dad.
That would be weird, but
Could be your mom.
that would be weirder. Actually, if one of my parents was secretly Chuck Tingle, I would expect it to be my dad. My dad, who does unironically love Cats 2019.
almost cool enough, but not really. But I'm gonna put the frosting on before they're cool enough, I'm pretty sure.
I know my parents told me very warm the touch. I don't think they're gonna be cool anytime like soon. I wonder what gives these cookies their texture. Is it the amount of flour?
She said it's the cornstarch.
Fair warning, because these are so like crumbly, if you knock one on the floor, it's just gonna be powder. I knocked one off the cooling rack and it's just like crumbled.
Well, Emma's gonna be sweeping after this.
Yeah.
My brain is like throwing on the floor to see what happens.
Yeah, I gotta know.
I was like, I want to know.
One minute left on my timer for my second batch. I put those in for 8 minutes instead of 13. I'm gonna see how that looks.
Can I confirm that the cookies are still too warm for frosting?
No.
Missy Kate and I are now friends on Fable, so some things are good.
Okay, frosting makes these cookies really, really, really good.
Yeah, I was wondering if it would.
Yeah, it's the frosting. If you can get on board with the texture.
Yeah, I think I can once I know what to expect.
This cookie is like the definition of barely holding it together.
Me.
Welcome, Crazy Foxy.
Hello. Yeah, we're on late tonight, making cookies, talking about, I don't even know, books mostly.
How about barely holding it together?
Yeah. Yeah, this is way too warm to have frosting on it. Okay. Yeah, I do like it with the frosting on it.
But yeah, it's pretty good frosting.
We're going to be back on, let me pull it up. I should have pulled it up before I started talking. Hang on. So yeah, I think Kelly mentioned this at the top. This is our last chat of the year because everyone's going to be relaxing for the next couple weeks, hopefully. We'll be back on January the 5th with a goal setting party. Just talk about what we're excited for the new year.
Expect
we're
many
gonna
bingo cards.
Yes. And we're gonna stick to the every other chat is a write-in. But we are going to open with goals next year, just to kick it off on a goal setting note. Then like the week after that will be write in chat. So yeah, we're
Megan is
gonna open.
aggressively overachieving with planning for 2025.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure we had topics, so we've got topics. So January is going to be goal setting, write in. We're going to talk about revisions and then write in. Yes, Crazy Foxy, you just missed. We were just talking about Fable. We super like it as a Goodreads replacement. So they've got great charts, and I love a good chart. And it's colorful.
Yeah. I think I'm also looking to downsize social media. So many charts.
So many.
Yeah. But I like the idea of like finding more community in like book-oriented social media. So like maybe I'll actually become a person who posts things about books that I love instead of just lurking on all things always.
Do it.
Yeah, I think it's the reader summary is likely just an AI interpretation of your reading style.
They don't advertise it as like AI generated, so it's probably some sort of algorithm or whatever. But
yeah,
it's.
I wonder how many different ones there are. Like, yeah, it doesn't sound quite as unhinged as like the many variations of Spotify day lists of like
Yeah.
how wild it's gone in terms of interpreting.
What does yours say, Kelly?
I am an empathy explorer. My penchant for heartwarming tales mixed with a dash of corporate intrigue and a sprinkle of fantasy suggests you might shed a tear reading a tax form.
Well, they got you.
Right?
I got distracted and burnt the next one.
No!
You were so careful.
I know. I have enough saved that we'll have more than enough. But mine is Eerie Empath. Your blend of emotional depth in fiction and a craving for gothic haunted mysteries gives me chills. Who is me? Are you sure you're not secretly a ghost whisperer or just preparing for a spooky literary Halloween party? Neither. I'm a ghost.
Well, they do have that AI. Oh, go ahead.
I would say mine is Secret Keeper. With your penchant for hidden stories, secrets, and magical adventures, I'm worried you might start a book club just to unravel us all.
Sounds about right.
So they do have like an AI scout who you can like ask for specific book recommendations, which I feel like could be a decent like analysis paralysis on my TBR thing.
Yeah.
But I just asked it for horror like The September House, and now I'm curious to like read the book it recommended. So, although it's by Lauren Oliver, so I'm not immediately. I don't know. That's unexpected.
I haven't read a Lauren Oliver book in a super long
Right?
time. Mine is not super soft in the middle. Nicole asked, is the outside supposed to be crunchy in the middle super soft? Mine's a little soft in the middle compared to the edges, but I did burn mine.
Like it's like not even a little bit crunchy. Like it's like soft on the inside, but it's like I feel like powdery is the
powdery, yeah.
Like it's not like soft like dough, but it is like a powdery like texture.
Yeah.
It's what I imagine cloud dough would taste like if you bit into it.
Yeah. Oh, these are less burnt. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Not that one, though. That one's not fine. This is what happens when we don't do a practice run.
I was gonna say if too many of yours are burnt, I've got 24 that are not burnt. So
No, I don't think I'm gonna like these enough to eat a dozen of them.
right.
Just what I have. So I think I will like these enough to eat a few tomorrow.
I will probably end up sending some with my husband to his in-person job.
I'm gonna take some, but I don't know if I want them to go to work.
Missy Kate, the app made my lists. I did not. So it like sorted things by like, here's the middle grade books you read. Here's the dystopian books you read. I haven't super
it did that?
So yeah. So it's under your library and then reading lists. So it has like your want to read and the DNF pile, which I really appreciate. I like that I can track that.
I don't have any extra lists. Are you sure?
Interesting. I'm 100% sure I didn't create them. That sounds like a lot of work.
Because the ones I have all came from Goodreads. They aren't new ones.
Yeah, my only new one is the did not finish, which I'm interested in.
It's possible I did these many, many moons ago on Goodreads.
Mhm. Usually, I feel like my Goodreads has had a weird evolution of how I use it, because it was like at first I was just adding anyone and everyone on Goodreads and leaving reviews, but then I was really weird about like, oh, I don't want to leave a bad review because what if I get published someday and one of my peers sees I hated their book? So then I locked it way down, had like 5 Goodreads friends. So the idea of telling people that I DNF'd a book on the internet is like a little scary to me. But it's not.
I think you can
every
make
book.
I think you can like individually go and make a list private.
Oh, look at that. They knew. They knew. Yeah. I just made my DNF shelf private.
There you go. I want to know if you DNF a book, but
I'll tell you if I DNF a book.
I'm a huge mood reader. I'll DNF a book I love just because I don't want to read. I'm like, man, this is the best book ever, and I'll be like 2/3 of the way through, and I'm like, I'm picking this up again.
Yeah. It's just such a funny, like, what if someone sees I didn't like their book and it's like, they're never going to see that.
yeah. If you get so famous that people are diving into that,
You can just lock down your Goodreads then.
Then Grady Hendrix will send me an angry email.
or
or
you're so famous that Grady Hendrix is just grateful you tried.
I'm sure, yeah. They're
Like, I don't know.
reallocating all of his shelf space at the local Barnes and Noble.
I mean, that is the shelf space you'd be going for, but
These are still too warm.
My first batch is cool enough, but my second batch is too warm.
I don't know. I'm adding more frosting. Like maybe that will help.
As it just melts.
I'm really good at baking, but this is a long week, I guess.
No. What happened in your week, Megan? Nothing stressful at work, even.
Nothing at all. I was so chill at work every day this week because they made us come into the office every day this week.
Oh my gosh.
Except for one day I got a really high priority task. And I said, I can do this if I don't have to drive up to the office. And they let me stay home that day. I do like going in though. My coworkers are nice, so but being in public and everything.
Yeah, home is also nice.
Home is nicer. Nicest.
Nicole wants to know. Oh, does I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh.
A little bit, yeah.
Just like really quiet. Like the quality's fine, just quiet. Nicole asked, "What's the best way to store the frosting?"
Probably in your fridge, and then pull it out a little before you would actually need it, so that because it's going to get harder in the fridge because it's butter. So if you pull it out and it's just like, I don't think there's enough butter that it would get like rock solid, but if it does, you can like warm it with your hands or put it in the microwave for just a little bit.
I also found out from my mom this summer that you can like chocolate molds and stuff. You can put leftover buttercream in those and stick them in the freezer. And they're like,
Oh,
that's cool.
yeah, very tasty.
Is my audio any better? My headphones were dying, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Is it echoing at all?
Nope.
Okay, perfect.
Do you remember what you were saying before?
Sure don't.
F.
There's a finished cookie. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
Could have crushed the candy canes more. Some of them are really big, but
I did miss what we said about the frosting. Like, it should go in the fridge, right?
Yeah, if you're storing it overnight, keep it in the fridge. It might get a little hard, so pull it out before you need it the next time. And if it's just like not softening at all, you can like use your hands or probably stick it in the microwave for just a few seconds.
Okay.
There's my finished one.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh, we gotta send Leah a picture. She wanted pictures.
I feel like if I didn't know these were like peppermint and candy cane, like they look like such a Valentine's cookie.
They do. That would be really good if you made it like raspberry or something.
that'd be good.
We can put like a conversation heart on top.
Yes, that'd be
That's
so
really
cute.
Nicole had a similar experience.
Yeah, it's like so unsettling on its own, and then you put the frosting on. It's like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Unsettling. That is a way to describe a cookie.
It really is unsettling.
It's like unlike any texture I've ever had on a
It's like
cookie.
you bite into a solid, but then it turns into a powder as soon as it touches your mouth.
Yeah, and like, I really like shortbread. It's not quite like shortbread either, though.
Crazy Foxy's response to the frosting improving the cookie eating experience is, doesn't it always? And that feels very accurate.
Yeah.
That's fair. Not chocolate chip cookies. That would make them worse.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it would make them different.
I'm like a
I think it
sugar
would make them
dude,
worse.
and I would like it.
See, I personally think chocolate chip cookies would be better without the chocolate chips. And yes, I know that it's just a sugar cookie, but it's not. It's like a brown sugar cookie with probably cocoa powder, but like it's not the same.
You're not the only person I know who has said that.
Chocolate chip cookies are so good that they would be better without chocolate chips.
I knew someone in college who preferred them just without the chocolate chips.
If I'll eat a cookie dough, like if I get like a little like breakaway piece, I will like take the chocolate chips out.
Mm.
You learn new things about your friends all the time. You think you know a person.
I love chocolate chip cookies. And I love chocolate. I just think chocolate chip cookies would be better without the chocolate. It's the texture. They're too different. The chocolate is like hard and like the cookies are like soft. I know once they melt, it's like similar, but like
yeah, because I feel similar about textures, but like the cookie, like an ideal chocolate chip cookie, the chocolate is it's barely a texture. It just like melds with the cookie.
I don't know. Maybe I just like the brown sugar.
Fair. All cookie preferences are valid.
Except oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, it's
Oatmeal
garbage.
raisin is
I
so
actually,
good.
I actually like oatmeal raisin.
I love oatmeal cookies.
I like oatmeal cookies, not oatmeal
No,
raisin.
specifically not the raisin.
No.
I mean, like oatmeal raisin cookies are not as good as oatmeal cookies.
Oatmeal chocolate chip?
I rather just have
Yeah,
regular.
yeah.
I'd rather an oatmeal raisin than an oatmeal chocolate.
No, absolutely not. I would rather a vegetable than an oatmeal raisin.
The
Do you not
only
like raisins?
cookies.
No, I hate dried fruit of any kind.
Jonah's two favorite cereals are like Honey Bunches of Oats and Raisin Bran.
I love Raisin Bran. I'm with him.
No.
So
Mm-mm.
Raisin Bran
I'd rather
Crunch. is
not eat breakfast.
Oh, when Canada finally got Raisin Bread Crunch, it was like a holiday for my husband. It was like that was like his thing when we went to the States.
Yeah, the only kind of cookies I can think of that I don't like is sugar cookies if they're made with almond extract. I hate the flavor of almond extract.
I like just a little bit of almond extract.
Don't like it in cake. I don't like it in cookies. I don't like it in frosting. Never had it in anything and liked it.
It was the only crumble cookie that I liked.
Interesting.
Was their pink one.
Mm.
But they've redone the recipe so it doesn't have as much almond in it as it used to. And I don't like it as much. Speaking of cookies with weird textures.
The crumble, yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out there's such a thing as too chewy of a cookie.
Yeah.
I like the crumble cookie cakes.
Ooh.
Whenever they have like they'll have like the cookie, but it's not a cookie. It's like very clearly a cake. Those are good.
Send us pics of the cookies you've made if you're baking along in the Discord if you're over there.
We swear we're gonna use it in 2025. It's gonna be a thing.
Ellie swears she's going to use it in 2025. No, I do like the Discord as well.
I love the idea of like these are all people that I would like to social media with. It's just so hard to build a new habit.
A new habit, yeah.
Just getting myself to check it is impossible.
We have another cookie casualty from it.
Nicole just gripped it too hard. They're very fragile cookies.
Mine are not quite that fragile.
Probably because you burnt them.
My response
Yeah,
is
they
throw it
got-
on the floor, see what
They got
happens. But
dark on the bottom. Let me take one of the burnt ones and throw it. Oh no, I don't want to make a mess. If I
Yeah,
find
you're no
another
fun.
burnt one, if I find another burnt one on the plate, I'll throw it on the ground and see what happens.
See if it explodes.
That's what I'm
I
having
don't
done.
think
You
it
can't just
would.
throw food on the floor.
Yeah.
Expect it to get cleaned up.
This has been great for me. I'm done with the month of November, so
Nice.
nice. I had planned to be far more productive with this. I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a couple hours, just hang out. I'm not baking. Yeah. It's Sunday. I'm tired.
I do not want to work tomorrow.
Nope.
after having kind of a hectic last little bit on Saturday, yesterday, finally had a day where like I didn't really have anything I had to do. I had things I should do, but like I set an alarm and I just slept for like 11 straight hours, and it was kind of one of those where I'm like, okay, apparently
I needed this.
that. Yep.
I think Thursday night I went to bed at like 7 p.m. It's amazing.
I think I might have messed up my sleep schedule real bad because unfortunately for me, it was like I stayed up till about when I normally do and then just slept till 11 a.m., which I normally do not do. And I did have some trouble falling asleep tonight, but whatever. Apparently we needed it, so can't argue with that.
Oh, yeah, no. I threw it just on the table and it did turn to powder. It did take off all the burnt parts, though.
Okay. What I say about this recipe is it's like the exact right amount of frosting.
Yeah, that's nice.
I was like worried it wouldn't be enough because it looked like so little.
Yeah. Well, this is probably as good a place as any to wrap it up. We've been going for almost 2 hours to wrap up the year. Does anyone have any last minute end of year thoughts you want to leave everyone with?
It's been a year. See you in the next one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Forever grateful to have another year with all you lovely people. So
Yeah.
we hope to see you back in January. We are still accessible via the Discord.
Theoretically.
Theoretically accessible.
Accessible as we are ever on the Discord.
Yeah, more accessible than we will be on YouTube, as we will be on hiatus for a couple weeks.
But you can probably find us on Fable if you try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for Megan. Megan's hard to find. Just her first name.
It's just, yeah.
She's one of my 6 friends.
Yeah. If you find Kelly, you'll find me.
You're looking for Megan with a picture of Hallbrand from Rings of Power.
I gotta change it now. I'm on their toes. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for hanging with us tonight, everyone. We'll see you in the new year. Bye.
Bye.